Yes.
Just 1 second. I'm struggling to share the screen. Yep, screen number 2. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Abbas Kudrati, and I'm Microsoft APAC Chief Cybersecurity Advisor based here in Melbourne, Australia. Just checking if the slides are going well. If they are. All right. So, next 15 minutes or so, what I wanted to talk something differently. I mean, this time we have been talking about zero trust and threat and whatnot, but we are seeing a lot of uptake on the new technologies, the new converger, how computings are working. So I thought, let me talk about what is metaverse, and how it is going to change our whole landscape on how we do the computing as well as how we operate today in the banking environment, right? We have seen the 4 wave of computing, all the way starting from mainframe to personal computers to smartphone, and today what we have is something called mixed reality. And what is this mixed reality? Actually, the mixed reality is nothing but we talk about merging of two worlds. One world being a security or physical world, where we have all the physical things what we see and what we can touch and feel it. And second one is nothing but our digital world. So digital world is where we converge these two areas. So when we refer to the mixed reality world, we are referring to the two blending of the two worlds, physical and digital. And the mixed reality which comes along with that is a user which can interact in more three-dimension objects while even making them just feel like they are in the physical world. So you may have seen lots of movies in which they are showing about like digital twin, as they call it. So this mixed reality has now bring up a new set of how we operate today. We call it the metaverse. Now, metaverse is not a new word. Actually, it was coined all the way back in 1992 in a sci-fi movie called Snow Crash. If you have seen it, if not, then we can try looking for it and you will be able to know what metaverse is all about. But metaverse has a separate focus, right? So each industry players are now focusing metaverse in a different way. For example, companies are leveraging their digital capabilities, the way they operate, in terms of a different domain. For example, Microsoft today is focusing around enterprise level, where we call it an industrial area, where we want to work in a mesh focus, where we want to bring consumer, enterprise, and industrial work together. So it can be helped in many other industries, including the banking, including the manufacturing, the healthcare, and whatnot. And today, how we do that? We have a number of ways to interact it. Like we have the AI, VR headsets, and many other. So this technology is really going forward. And if you have seen Satya Nadella's keynote most recently, he said that going forward, every business and process is going to collaborate using the power of data and AI, which is going to bridge digital and physical world, which can be noticed if you know. Just a couple of days back, Microsoft announced the Microsoft Build. We had shown some demonstration in terms of how Metaverse can hit the factory floor, which can be seen in some examples where the interns are now repairing the actual machineries as if the machine is in front of them, and all the VR and 3D modeling can be seen. A couple of factories, for example, big car manufacturing, are already utilizing these kind of scenarios. So this digital intelligence, what we see, it has almost come to the real world, as if we see and how we collaborate into the three-dimension content, and how we are moving our own world to get more information.
Mr. Abbas, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but there is a little disturbance from your voice. Can you please unmute and mute yourself again, like mute and unmute yourself again?
Sure, let me try that.
There is still a little disturbance in your mic.
I don't have a microphone. I'm using the camera one. You think, is there an echo?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly now. Yes. Please continue. Yeah.
Yeah, do let me know if you feel again. Then I can wear the headset if required. Right? And you have seen some of the examples, like in Tamil Nadu, we have seen a couple getting married completely and throwing the reception completely digital on a metaverse technology landscape. People are now buying the virtual land. You can buy land in the gaming system as well. Organized companies like Boosie, they are selling their digital handbag through Metaverse, and we are seeing a lot more adoptions coming to the play. But what does all these things mean to an FSI player? On the time check. Sorry, I lost my slides. Yeah. So what does all this means for an FSI or a banking sector? Well, you can imagine the metaverse potentially has almost 8 trillion to 13 trillion opportunity. The next generation of the internet, we believe, which is going to be the metaverse in the next generation, which will combine our physical and digital world, as I explained. These devices, which are going to be really agnostic, we are going to access now PC and gaming console and smartphone. This could result in a huge ecosystem of the business opportunity. That's definitely, it means a lot for the banking sector as well, because as the metaverse is now getting developed, we are going to see the lots and lots of spectrums of financial services which are going to be required, especially to support all this activity, right? We are going to see a metaverse finance for meta fee. It will likely to be combined with more towards how we do the decentralized finance using the DeFi plus centralized finance, which is CFI as we call it, and then traditional finance, what we call TradFi. Get ready, you will be hear a lot of these jargons as we move forward with all the new products and specialties which are going to be created. So those are some examples of how it will be like in terms of a gaming token. If any of you are a gamer, for example,
Mr. Abbas, I'm so sorry to interrupt again. Again, there is a disturbance from the volume. Can you please put on your headphones or earphones or something? It'll be great because there is a slight disturbance every time you're talking. So maybe if you can connect to your headphones, it'll be great.
let me know how the voice quality is.
Yes, it's better. Yes.
Is it better? Okay, let's get
Yes. It's perfect now. Yes.
Okay, sorry for that. I should have used this much before. So, for the banking sectors in the financial industry, we are going to see a variety of payment methods. Right? For example, if you are a Minecraft or a Roblox player, you can use the decentralized mechanism of buying the money or a centralized platform, which can be used within the same platform. You cannot use the Minecraft money with Roblox or the LinkedIn today, right? Same with cryptocurrency. Because Metaverse is going to be relying a lot on the Bitcoin and Ethereum and Polygon type of things. We're going to see lots of usage in terms of virtual land and NFTs and gaming. But of course, it also has some of the limitations. For example, energy usage, the proof of work, how are you going to verify it? And the biggest concern is for the anti-money laundering part of it. Third example is of a stable coin. We're going to see use cases of international payment and settlement, which can be done in minutes and seconds rather than waiting for the hours and days, right? Of course, it also has a limitation. Anti-money laundering is one of the biggest challenge will be faced under the stable coin, but also the collateralization and the requirement also will be there. The next one is mostly on the central bank digital currency. Now, we're going to see lots of sand dollars and EAR as examples, also for the domestic payment and the public health affairs, which are going to be the main use cases for central bank digital currency. But it will have a more problem in terms of domestic use only. And that could be one of the challenges. International transaction could be a bit of a challenge in that area. And the fiat money, or what we call it current today, right? For example, USD and all those things. Of course, there the challenge could be known tokenizations, the account base, and the micro payment. Those could be some of the challenge when we start using.
Mr. Abbas, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but we can hear the disturbance again. So I request you to kindly refresh the platform and again join us back so that we can hear you clear. Because from the time again, we can hear a lot of disturbance. So please refresh the platform and please join us.
Okay, let me try that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, okay, ladies and gentlemen, while we're going to be having Mr. Abbas join with us in few minutes from now, well, I'm hoping that all of you guys are having an amazing time because we're going to be having lots and lots of other speakers for more insightful, knowledgeable sessions. So stay glued to your seats. And yes, we are going to be having Mr. Abbas who is going to be joining us again now. Cheers. And yes, I want all of you guys to quickly switch on your cameras because I cannot see anybody who switched on the cameras. So let's all have a virtual nice meet. So let's have all of you guys switch on your cameras so that I can see all of you. And yes, I'm going to say this once again. Please do not forget to use the hashtag, which is FINSEC2022. So for all the pictures, all the videos, all of you guys take, I want all of you to quickly mention and use the hashtag for today. Thank you.
All right, I'm back on the stage, and
Yes.
let's see. Okay, thank you. And yeah, sorry, sometimes too many windows
The god
open,
of internets,
multitasking,
yes. No
multitasking.
worries, sir.
So, so continuing on my topic, right? So the various payment method we saw in the previous slide. That's just to continue the examples I was talking about. The in-game token limitation, only you can use it within the game platform. Cryptocurrency, biggest challenge is going to be the anonymity and anti-money laundering. Stable coin, again, anti-money laundering is a concern. Central bank digital currency, very domestic approach. We can't do it further. And the fiat money, which we discussed about in terms of it is very account based in a micro payment base as well. But is metaverse dangerous, right? So there are three things we need to focus on when we talk about the metaverse as a challenge what we're going to face, right? First thing is monitor. Do we have a policy or regulatory or a compliance requirement in terms of how much monitoring is required? A lot of monitoring is required, but who is going to monitor the monitor people, right? Because the amount of data which is going to be collected, they can personify the entire person or the industry or the even examples of Korea, how they completely digitize the entire country, So if such blueprints can be found by hacker, I mean, it can be disastrous situation when it happens to it, because every new technology we talk about, of course, there are lots of advantage and the benefits, but it always comes with its own threat and risk, which we need to be aware of. Second point is about manipulation. What if the attackers or the adversaries can manipulate your whole persona? We have seen lots of deepfakes scenarios today on the videos and the YouTube and many places. We have seen even some examples of Obama and how they have converted his deepfake voices to announce that. Even Russia, Ukraine things, we have seen it. Same thing can happen with your own personality as well. Today we are talking about a problem with digital identity being compromised. The data could be manipulated and recreated in a fashion that it could represent you rather than not actual you, right? Third could be the monetization. We have seen how social media companies and many other organizations who collect a lot of data, how they can monetize it before. So this could be the further enhancement in terms of can can you manage and control that your data which has been collected can be sold, especially in the metaverse situation when the data is in a huge quantity and a lot of personal information is being shared, right? So that's something to even watch out in the future. And just and to move forward, I mean, we have seen how technology has evolved, as I was showing in the first slide, as going towards now, right? We are going to see the similar kind of a threat today. For example, we have seen in the standalone the data corruption, but today instead of corruption, what we are worried about in the future in terms of metaverse and AI and data IoT and all, data manipulation is going to be your number one risk from point of view, right? If you think from the risk point of view rather than threat point of view. So data manipulation and data theft are some of the things which you need to watch out. What can be done in terms of regulatory? Yes, there is a work to be done. I mean, as a central organization, as a central bank, as a reserve bank, or whichever regulatory body are required. For example, in Australia, we have APRA standards. Many other reserve banks are there who are in charge of creating that kind of regulatory and compliance framework surrounding that. So we need to think about again three things here: free versus commercial, right? If it is freely available for you, that means they have all freedom, as we say, right? If it is free, then you are the product. So there is a benefit of having a commercial use of metaware, because that's where you are able to control things what it is, and you can demand things what they are monitoring on that platform as well. So that's one area to think about from the regulatory point of view: how much limitation on or how much limit can be enforced on the tracking in the free versus commercial one. Second one is a decentralized version, right? So what can you do in terms of a decentralized platform? Today, the whole metaverse is probably funded from the NFT, which is a non-fungible tokens, right? It has gained a lot of attention, and perhaps it has attracted a lot of criminals fraternity as well. So there will be a chance, and there will be a lot of opportunities of money laundering, which will become much more easier in case of metaverse, right? So that's something to again watch out and think about how we can regulate that kind of a thing. And interactive manipulation, if I talk about in my previous slide how data can be manipulated, and which can be against your own or disadvantage side as well. So this is, if regulatory bodies and compliance framework has to be built upon, these are the three things we need to really focus on, so that even in case of a banking industry where money is involved and all the various forms of new digital currency we are going to witness, it can be managed and tracked. With that, yeah, that is what I had to, at a high level, I wanted to share it, because this is such a new topic and such a huge topic. We can go on hours to discuss about that, but happy to take one or two questions if you have. Otherwise, definitely you can reach out to me on my LinkedIn, or visit this link aka.ms, where I have lots of other presentation and my contact detail, which can be or you can reach out to me for the further conversation on this topic. What are the panelists' thoughts on the backend storage used in the metaverse? I'll take one question before I hand over the stage. So, see, backend storage is what? Are you going to store the data on the on-prem, or are you to use the cloud? But considering the technology of metaverse where we see today, definitely cloud is going to be used for storing the huge amount of data, because as the new technology advancement, the amount of data we create is going to be humongous. We are talking about zettabytes of data. It's not possible to store everything in your backend, in your home garage or in your data center. You have to leverage cloud. When you leverage cloud, then you are sharing the responsibility with your cloud service provider, right? So it depends upon the services what you are using it, the security responsibility is shared, and the data can be managed accordingly. And of course, it goes through all the privacy requirement and compliance and regulatory framework of the particular country if it was required. But in case of metaverse, that's something which we need to think about: how the data can be managed and shared or used for the benefit of providing a better service, including the backend storage. Yeah. Thank you very much. If no other question, I would like to hand over to MC. And any other question, please reach out to me.